I'm Manny.
I'm Noah.
This is Devin.
And this is No Such Thing, the show where we answer our dumb questions and yours by actually doing the research. Today's episode is an advice episode. Many of you sent in questions seeking our advice, and we're here to answer them. Let's get started.
There's no such thing. No such thing. No such thing. No such thing. No such thing.
All right, so many of you may be asking, why the hell are Manny, Noah, and Devin giving advice? And there's no real good answer, to be honest.
No.
I've personally noticed on a lot of podcasts that I like to listen to, they just started doing advice segments. These segments are usually sponsored by someone, some company, but no, we just wanted in on the fun a little bit and thought this would be a good way to spend some time on the mics here. So that's why we're doing this.
Hey, no such thing. Long-time listener, first-time caller. I'm hoping to get your advice on something. We're entering party season, and I'd like your thoughts on invitation etiquette, specifically as it relates to plus ones. What are a person's responsibilities when it comes to inviting significant others to parties? Is there a threshold when it becomes disrespectful to give a friend a plus one instead of inviting their partner as an individual person? As someone in a serious cohabitating relationship, I found myself slightly offended by being plus one by friends of my partner over time. However, I also recognize the inconsistency of my own inviting habits when I'm on the other side. Boys, please help ground me in reality here. Thank you.
First, I want to shout out the use of the phrase cohabitating partnership. Was that?
Serious cohabitating relationship.
It's very inclusive.
Yeah.
Well done. It's an interesting question. It's tough for me. I'm someone who has never minded.
Let's set the groundwork here a little bit, because I think she's talking about like a partyful invite, right? Not like just a casual text, like a group chat.
Right.
Yeah, an official.
This sounds like something a little bit more official, not a wedding.
Yeah.
But like I'm having a gathering and there's enough people that I gotta like.
I'm blasting this thing out.
Mm-hmm.
So within that context, if Mia's being invited to something, do you feel awkward if you are not also on that invite? At this point, you guys are living together for going on 2 years now.
We've been dating a long time.
Yeah.
For some reason in my head, if it's primarily Mia's friend, if Mia's the reason I know this person, I haven't minded it.
Yeah.
At the same time, maybe that I just haven't really thought about it being offensive. Like maybe I should think more about like, why am I not invited as an individual?
Yeah, I mean, it depends, because there's certainly people I know just through their partners that I might like them, they like me. I would never hang out with these people
one-on-one.
were it not with that other person, whether it's my partner, their partner. So in that sense, I kind of get just like, listen, you're invited, you can bring whoever. It's assumed.
So I'm going to be the one that has to have an issue with it.
Yeah, please.
I think the simple test for this is, do you have this person's phone number? If
I don't know.
you have the person's phone number and you are sending out an invite, and this is not, okay, we're doing like, I don't know, this is the first time we're hanging out with this person's boyfriend and we just happen to be on one group chat together. This is, this person's they're living together, right? So if the person you're inviting is living with this person and you have their phone number, you should also just send them an invite. It is very easy to just add another contact.
Yeah.
It would be, I get not, like, if you don't have this person's phone number, being like, okay, now I'm going to reach out to Noah and be like, hey, can you send me Julia's number? I'm having this. It's like, that's a bit much. If someone's been dating someone for a year, 2 years, 3 years, at a certain point, it doesn't matter that we're not hanging out one-on-one. It's just like, just also invite them. They shouldn't just be a plus one.
I guess it doesn't really matter. To me, it doesn't really matter if it's like, if that partner is never going to come on their own, even if they got the invite. You know what I mean? Like, let's use Manny and Mia.
All right.
If I'm inviting you to something and there's no world in which Mia is going to come by herself to this event.
Yeah.
It's kind of like we mutually wouldn't care.
Yeah. Then it's like a formality
But,
that you would.
yeah.
Well, I'm trying to get into the shoes of the person who's asking this question.
Yeah.
Like, how should you feel? How should one
if
feel
I'm that person.
If, it sounds like this person is feeling quite slighted by the
Yes.
fact that they're not invited to a thing. And it sounds like the person who's not inviting them individually sounds like they know them pretty
Yes.
well.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'm trying to figure out how I would feel in that instance.
This is gonna be the worst advice episode. We're like, well, I don't know. I don't care.
Why are you asking me? I think it's justified to feel upset or slighted about this.
Yeah, I think so. I
We're all
understand being
different.
annoyed.
I personally don't mind that much, but I could see why someone would mind.
And look, I don't think it's, if you are annoyed, I think it's up to your partner to address it.
Yeah,
It's whoever the
If
primary
I'm
driver
annoyed
is, yeah.
and that's your friend, you go talk to your friend about why I'm not on the invite.
Yeah.
I'm not having that conversation.
Would you mind asking your friend
Yeah,
to
hey, can you just
include
put-
me next time?
Just put Devin on the invite. Like, he wants to, if there's updates about the park, he doesn't want to have to text me about it.
No, I'm thinking about it though now. It's like, if my partner complained to me about this, and then I have to go to you, Devin, and be like, I'd be like,
Devin, can you please
I'd be
include
like, listen,
Julia?
she's gonna be nagging me about this. Just shoot her the text next time. I don't know if I would even do that.
You would, because you wouldn't want to have that conversation again for the next event.
Or I'd be like, yeah, I told him, and then I'd just
Yeah.
be like, I don't know why he's not inviting you.
Yeah,
That's what I would do.
I've seen
actually.
this. I've seen this.
Then I think it is worth bringing it up to your partner if it bothers you.
think
And
that's
you
fair.
don't need to make it a big deal. I think you can bring it up in a pretty nonchalant sort of way of just sort of like, hey, it's just like, she wants to add it to a calendar, all this stuff, and it's just easier if, like, she just gets the invite. Like, if you don't have her number, here's her number.
For the
And
next
just
time.
make it pretty low key. I don't think anyone who received that from one of their friends will be like, how dare they
Right.
request that they are invited. It sounds like what's happening here is that, like, people are just doing the easiest thing for them and not thinking about other people's feelings.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that they're intentionally not inviting you.
Yeah.
Especially if you're living together. It's different if, like, I don't know if there's still a thing.
because it's essentially assumed this person is going to come.
Yes.
If it's, unless it's like obviously a very small thing
Assume that they're
where
invited.
it's a different thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But like
They're
assuming
making
they
the
are
decision.
invited, yeah. And I think that's fair. And then just to kind of put a point on that, it's just be the change you want to see. So
Yes.
you better be inviting everyone individually
Every partner.
if you're going to be thinking this way.
I will say, too, as a final note, it sounds like maybe this is not about the invite at all. And maybe this is about how you feel in the presence of your partner's friends.
Yeah.
And maybe it sounds like
Wow.
you feel like you're being left out to some degree.
Yeah.
So I would take a long, hard look at that.
Well, because I mean, things get complicated. There's been friends of mine who have had long-term partners who, and I try my best, and sometimes it's like this person does not give. They don't care if I live or die in front of them, and I've known them for maybe, I'll say like a decade.
Yeah.
And those people aren't around anymore, maybe with good reason.
They didn't make the cut.
But or like, and the flip side, it's like you can tell like some people would make no effort to even meet with the significant other.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, you can at least pretend like you know this person or something.
Yes.
But yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's obviously a larger
Slightly
issue,
different
but
question.
yeah.
Yeah.
But still one that
But
that feels
connected for
pertinent
sure.
to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's. I think if you felt included in other aspects, it wouldn't feel as big of a deal. Which is, I think, kind of what we're talking about here, where it's like, somebody forgot, like, on email, whatever. Who cares? But I think it's like, every time I hang out with these people, like, they don't greet me, they don't say anything to me,
It's all
and I'm
about
not on
the
the
other
email.
person.
Like, then it starts to add up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, well, maybe I won't even bother going to this.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you don't even want me there.
Yeah.
Sounds like they don't. Yeah. Hey, Manny, Noah, Devin.
Hey.
Responding to your question mailbag request. I have a crush on a coworker.
Oh,
This shit is brutal, but here we are. I'm 5 years older than him. I'm 37 with fresh eggs. Oh, wow.
What the fuck?
Let's hold the commentary for after. I'm afraid of even saying anything for lots of reasons, but the biggest being, am I too old? Is this real? Is this perception? What is even real? For context, I am bi, a homeowner, outside of my current city, and want to have a baby in the next 2 years. The age is fine.
The ages are fine.
Totally fine, yeah.
And 32, it's not like she's talking about having a crush on like a 22-year-old.
Yeah,
It's like, I don't want kids in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
32.
It's within the realm.
We joke about it a lot, but you can have kids at this age, surprisingly.
It's
Yeah.
legal.
It's legal. It's possible.
So it is of the age where if you had something that was serious for a few years, you can see maybe, two's cutting it a little tight.
Yeah.
Being that, like, you're not with this person yet.
Yeah.
But,
I don't want to worry too much about the baby thing, even though that's an important conversation to have.
Yes.
Within a couple months.
okay.
At this rate.
Yeah. Wait. So what's the actual question? Like, what are the?
I mean,
what advice are they
basically
seeking?
they
How
have a
to
crush,
how to
so
navigate
they're figuring
this.
out, is it with all these other parameters? Are they kind of crazy
Oh.
for even thinking about
Yes.
pursuing it?
Should
Because it's a
they?
coworker.
Yes.
Yeah. So coworker,
Yes.
the age thing.
you.
Okay. So as it pertains to the question of like,
coworker.
is it
Kosher.
kosher? Yeah. Right.
I don't want to put man's business out
Look,
here.
I'm,
Likely thing for you to say.
yeah, I think I'm pretty biased here. But never in an instance where one of us had a power dynamic
Yes,
over the other
yes,
person.
yes, that's
so
right.
it was always like either
Different teams.
level playing
Yeah.
field or different teams.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I date all my interns.
So I don't think there's any real issue with you working with the person.
Yeah, it's more a matter of, obviously, if you don't know this person's interest in you, I think it's totally fair to ask them out. But after that, you need to
Right.
let it go and box that up and bury it
Yes.
for the rest of your career there.
And I will say part of this is like, we don't know you, right? And because,
It'd be great to know what kind of job this was.
yeah, what type of, that's
Yeah.
a really good point. What type of environment
Do you actually
is
work
this?
with them?
Right.
Yes. Are you working directly with
Are
them?
you-
Is this just someone in the office?
Are you guys at
difference.
Quiznos or are
Yep.
you in like an office job?
Yep.
Or Quiznos Corporate?
Or
Yeah.
the Quiznos office job?
And I think it's important to, like, what are your personalities, right? Like, are you two people who, if you get, like, if this doesn't work out, are you going to be able to continue working in this environment and everything's going to be
Great
fine?
question.
Because I've been in situations where, not me in a relationship with coworkers, but I've been the boss of people who have been in relationships working very closely together on teams.
Yeah.
Who it's great when it's going great.
Yeah.
And then, they get into a fight and then somebody's calling out sick.
Oh.
Or someone refuses to work with the other person.
That's a great point.
We should bleep out names, but is this and
No. So I think knowing the personalities at play here too,
Yeah.
like, is this going to be something that, like, if it's awkward and that's all it is, who cares? Yeah,
Yeah.
shoot your shot. If it's awkward, all right, whatever, you can move past it.
Yeah.
If you think it's going to impact, like, if this doesn't go well, if you think you're going to have to quit your job,
Yeah. Yeah.
is the worst situation that you'll be miserable at work, you'll be fired, like what, like
yes.
we got to lay out the consequences. But just to respond to a part of this email that seemed to be very important, which is like the fertility.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would describe a crush as something that's pretty frivolous, like low stakes.
Yeah.
This seems to be tied to like a desire to have babies pretty soon.
Well, they just don't have time to waste.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Which is fair, but you also don't want to. That is, you're putting a
can't
lot
run
of
into it, yeah.
expectations on a person that you don't even know if they like you.
Yeah.
She's trying to give herself an excuse to not approach him
Yeah,
and not
true.
have the conversation. But I think it's like step one is just like see if
figure
he's
out
interested
if
in you,
like each other.
Yes.
and you can sort of go through all these other things. Why are we
And-
talking about
Yeah.
having a baby in 2 years? You don't even like. You probably don't even know this guy's middle name. It's like there are a lot of steps we gotta go through.
Yeah, there were a few things I wish I knew, like more context. Like, are these people flirting with each
Yeah.
other, or do you just look at a person every day and
Yes.
you have a crush on them?
What are you doing?
That's fine too, but I just mean like
Yeah, it would
so
be more
so many
helpful for you.
people
Yeah.
are kind of can't read when someone likes them. It's
Yes.
like we might be telling you to go approach someone who's not interested in you.
But that's fine. You can find that out very quickly, and
Yeah.
you could be like, "Hey, you want to grab a drink after work?"
Exactly. Mm-hmm. You'll know.
Like, the
Watch
stakes
Ga-
aren't.
Let's watch the Knicks.
Yeah, the stakes exactly. The stakes are not that high.
A replay of the Knicks.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're
Watch the Knicks highlights.
They're in
Yeah.
Cancun. They're in Cancun
Yeah.
right now.
Hey,
Hey y'all, I need some advice. I'm having a birthday picnic and I've told all of my friends that they can bring their dogs because of course they can. I have no problem with dogs being at my picnic, but I do have this one friend whose dog I hate. This dog is energetic, yappy, aggressive. This dog ruins the vibe every time. And my friend has no idea that this dog is a problem. She thinks her dog is perfect. I do not want to ruin my birthday picnic. How do I tell her knowing that this will likely make her upset? And I am conflict avoidant. Please help.
I've got a question before we get into it.
Yep.
For the dog owners of the show.
Sure.
Me and
how much of a dog's like bad behavior can be attributed to its personality versus just not training it well?
It's a mix.
Yeah.
So like a dog like at a picnic kind of just running around smelling all the food, licking it up, like just kind of being a nuisance. I mean, to me I'm like, yeah, it's a dog. I mean, that's what they do, I guess.
mean, yeah.
But then it seems like some dogs probably start out that way before they're trained to be more polite.
Yeah, it sounds like, and this is a tough thing, you know, as a fellow dog owner, I fucking love my dog.
Yeah.
And no one else can talk shit about my dog except me.
Yeah.
But I'm also very aware of my dog's shortcomings, like what he can do, what he can't do, what situations I should put him in, what situations I should not put him in when it's time to just like, we just got to go. Mm-hmm. And I think if you're going to be the type of dog owner who's going to be like, I love my dog, blah, 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 you got to be really aware of how other people feel around your dog, especially with a bigger dog. You know, you can't just assume everybody's going to be comfortable with your dog jumping on him for food and all that sort of stuff. So,
but you seem to have kind of the wherewithal to know in certain situations that your dog might not be great for some
and
scenarios.
you're not bringing your dog everywhere.
I'm not bringing my dog everywhere for that reason.
That's the issue here.
So to help the caller here, how can she let her friend know that her friend doesn't know that the dog is bad in these situations?
I don't think there's an easy way to do this without being direct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
if
you're going to allow other dogs,
yes,
that's the problem.
You either got to cut everybody out.
I think it's totally fair, even at a park picnic thing, to just be like, "Hey, no dogs. Like, there's too much food and other stuff. Like, it'll just be kind of easier if we don't need to have that." And like, you could blame it on someone's allergies. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a million things to do, but if you're going to allow other dogs there, it is then obviously specific, and you can't just put out a vague thing of like, good dogs only, like, because
the person thinks their dog is good.
unless this dog is like, this dog's aggressive, but like it doesn't sound like the dog is like biting people, where it's okay, someone like, that's what I would assume. If I have a dog that doesn't hurt people, I'd be like, cool, my dog's fine.
I think you need to think about, I know they're conflict avoidant. Do you want to have an awkward conversation now? Or do you want your party to possibly be ruined by this dog doing this thing for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, however long the picnic is?
Yeah, I think that's...
If it's more of like the dog's a little bit annoying and like, you know, he runs around a little bit, but like it's not going to really mess up the party. Okay, maybe you just got to suck it up and then next time just get ahead of it and say like, hey, no dogs.
Yeah.
But if you're thinking this dog is going to, like, she said she hates this dog.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm like one of those people that, like, if it's my thing, I'm not inviting somebody I don't like.
Yeah.
And that includes your dog. So, like, you have to have a frank conversation with them and be like, hey, I would love for you to come, but, like, don't think it's going to be the best environment for your dog. Mm. And if your friend is actually your friend, they will receive that information and be okay with it and leave their dog at home and show up. If they're not really your friend, they're not going to show up.
What exactly should she say to this person? I think you touched on it a little bit.
Yeah, let's have a mock conversation.
Yeah,
I think good idea.
Something in the message should be like, maybe I like your dog, but I feel a little uncomfortable around your dog sometimes. Something that's like not like you suck, your dog sucks, you're gonna ruin the party, but like maybe if it's personal like that.
Are you calling him or doing this in person, do you think?
I'm probably texting.
Okay, texting.
Hey,
don't call.
Hey, 3 Ys.
Hey, what's up, man? He's so excited for the party. Oh no! Can't wait.
Me and my fur baby are getting ready.
I've already gotten Ollie a brand new bandana for your birthday.
Well, that's actually what I wanted to talk about today.
Thanks for responding to this message.
Yeah. As you know, my birthday party welcomes dogs, but on more than a few occasions, I felt a little bit uncomfortable around Ollie. I don't have anything against dogs in general, but Ollie in particular makes me a little nervous, and I don't want to be uncomfortable in any way at my birthday celebration. But I was wondering if it's okay that you come, but Ollie stays home.
So you're gonna be letting other dogs come, but not Ollie?
Yes, because I feel a little bit more comfortable around these dogs. They're not as energetic. They're not running around trying to eat the food, and I'm just gonna feel a lot more comfortable. And normally I wouldn't ask this, but it's my birthday, so I just want to feel as good as I possibly can. Please.
He's laying it on thick.
You know, I guess it's fine or whatever, but it's just kind of weird to me that this is the first time you're ever bringing up the fact that you've been feeling uncomfortable around Ollie, because you've been around Ollie so many times and like you've never said anything. So it sounds like you're just kind of making this up.
You're right. I should have brought this up earlier, but in previous instances, I didn't want to make you feel bad. In this instance, I've fucking had enough.
I need to stand up for myself.
And on last year at my birthday, I was a little bit nervous and anxious around your dog, and I don't want to feel that this year on my birthday.
That's fair.
All right, this is a classic incoming, I think. All right, hey Manny, Noah, and Devin. We have a question for you. Our good friends invited us on a dinner double date. When picking a location, we told them we don't have a preference, and so they selected a new restaurant that none of us had been to before. The food ended up being okay, nothing special. At the end of the meal, when the checks came, our friends told the waiter that they would be using a coupon that they had and ended up paying about half price for their meal, while we paid full price. This left us with a bad taste in our mouths. A few weeks later, they invited us to another restaurant again that none of us had been to. This time, we asked them ahead of time if they had a coupon to go there, and they said yes. We declined their offer because of the previous experience, and it was a random, out-of-the-way location. Curious to hear all of your thoughts on the situation. Do you think what they did was rude, or are we being upset for no reason? Should they have offered us to use the coupon on the appetizer they split with us? Does it make a difference that they had to pay a subscription fee to receive these coupons?
Oh.
Should they have been more upfront about their coupon and reasoning for the restaurant selection? What are the social norms here? Thanks.
And remind me at the beginning, who invited who to the dinner?
They invited them to a dinner.
They invited the emailers.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think it is rude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it's rude, number one, to only choose restaurants because you're getting a discount.
Yeah.
And maybe this is different in New York than wherever they live, but like I feel like if you're going to go on a double date, there's got to be some intention. Like, why are we choosing? Like, you know, there's got to be something personal about where you're going for dinner with these people. If it was just like the three of us were getting dinner after bowling or something, and one of you had a coupon and that's why we're going, I think that's totally fine. But
it's fine to go somewhere because you have the coupon.
Yeah, this feels way more intimate. A double date. And then, you know, if I had the coupon, I'd be upfront about it and be like, hey, if I'm inviting these people, hey, and if I'm inviting you, you're getting some of the discount.
Exactly.
This coupon is going for everyone.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy is the effort that goes into using the coupon just on your half of the meal. That's where it's like, all right, this is not like a accidental thing.
No.
You're telling the waiter specifically, only take this 20% off on this. And it's like, you know, money's tight, whatever, the economy. Like, you're doing this to save, like, what? Like,
how much money could it be worth?
Is that's really worth doing this?
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out the rude part of it. Because, like,
it's rude because you're inviting somebody to dinner and you're not being honest about why you're choosing the restaurants and that the fact that you have a coupon. So it's like they may be picking a place that's expensive. And this other couple's like, well, if they want to go, we go. So we get there, and then we're ordering all normal. You don't say anything till the very end, and then to Noah's point, and then you're only like using the 20% on you and your spouse. Like, that's crazy.
It's just weird.
It's really funny. I mean, I'm trying to imagine myself in this scenario where like we get to dinner, it's time to pay out, and then the couple who invited me pulls out like a
coupon and for themselves.
And they don't use it on themselves. I'd be like, oh, what?
Yeah,
I would just think it's weirded out.
Even though obviously I'm not entitled to it.
Yeah.
But it's just odd.
Yeah.
I mean, it just
I would feel embarrassed if I was the person inviting someone if I had a coupon and did not mention it ahead of time.
To me, there's two violations happening here. One is that we're only going to this place because you have a coupon.
Yes, there's no other reason.
Completely strips away any kind of like intimacy about wanting to take your friends out on this double date.
Yeah.
Two, you get to the part where you use the coupon and you're not including the people you invited to this place for the sole reason of having the coupon. Now, the third violation is like, hey, let's do this again.
Yes.
Because I have another coupon. I would feel so pissed.
I will say some people just don't have any like social awareness. And I would be upfront. I know they said that they told them like, no, we don't want to go to that restaurant, but I would be upfront with them and be like, hey, it seems like you guys are only picking restaurants that you have coupons for. We don't have coupons. If we're gonna go out to eat with you guys, we want to go somewhere that we actually want to eat. That, you know, and it's kind of awkward that you guys are inviting us just to places that you have coupons for, being that we don't have coupons, so there's no incentive for us to do that. Yeah. If you guys just want to use your coupons, just go out by yourselves to these restaurants. Why are you inviting me and then leaving me out of the discount?
Scout if it's good, and then if it's great,
then we can go back.
Come back.
I don't care if they pay for a subscription fee for
no.
I mean,
I don't.
That's
either.
weird. I mean,
just to address
I don't know what
that,
sort of thing this is.
It does not matter that they're paying for the subscription.
I mean, how much could that be?
Yeah.
Even whatever it is.
Even if someone gave me a gift card to the place, right?
Yeah.
So I'm getting, say, $150 off at the restaurant. If I'm inviting somebody else to that restaurant, they are getting that discount.
It's off the top.
Yes.
It's off the top, and
Also,
then you divide it.
What the hell is this subscription? I mean, look, I pay for Regal Unlimited.
Yep.
$23 a month, so that I can go see movies without paying for the movie.
Yep.
This person's paying a subscription to get a discount on things.
It feels like kindergartner mentality of like everything like needs to be fair and even. It's like sometimes you should just do things because it's nice.
Yeah.
You're not always gonna like, it's your coupon. I get it. You pay a subscription fee, but like if you're inviting your friends out, maybe you're just gonna not get as much money back as you thought you were this time.
You should enjoy the experience, and like if you're that hard up for money that this is an issue, then one, you shouldn't be paying for a subscription service for coupons.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't be going out to restaurants, let alone inviting other couples out.
Exactly.
Like, that's it. It's just like when people complain about tipping normally at a restaurant.
Yeah.
It's like, well, then you can't
don't go.
You can't afford it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you shouldn't be out eating.
Yeah, just make some mac and cheese. Yeah, so
Pretty
anyway,
unanimous
these listeners
decision
are right.
here
Yeah,
by
yeah.
Manny, Noah, and Devin. Your friends should feel ashamed.
Cut
And
them
you
out.
should confront them about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no more. I mean,
Yeah, you were too nice in
Yeah.
saying no just because the restaurant was far away. I'd been like, why? What is happening here? What is wrong with you?
Get some help. Maybe talk to, send an advice question to some people. All right. Hey guys, I've got some advice to ask. How do I pursue new friendships without neglecting the friends I already have? I absolutely love all my friends. They're incredible people and they mean the world to me. I have a few particularly close friends, but I can't help but feel that many of them have this untouchable connection with each other that I just can't reach. I try my best to spend more time with these people, but always worry about neglecting the close friends I already have. There are also people who are not quite friends but acquaintances that I'd like to get to know better. But I don't know how to start that process without A, looking weird, or B, making my current friends think I'm trying to move away from them, or that I enjoy their company any less. What do you think?
I feel like out of the three of us, Manny, you should answer this because the amount of friends that you have is disgusting.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So you do a good job.
Yeah,
at
so what do
this.
you think?
I have a lot of friends.
How do you balance
but
it?
It seems like this person doesn't have that much time because my initial response to this is that you can do all of this at the same time.
Yeah.
It seems like you can make new friends without having to neglect the other ones pretty easily.
It sounds like they're saying they have to sacrifice time with their friends they already have to deepen relationships with newer friends, which
and they're not trying to lose any It's not like, oh, I don't like this friend group.
No.
They're not like holdovers from college or something.
There is some level of like politics to this in a weird way. Like I've run into this all
Yeah.
the time where I'm someone who wants to invite every single person I know on a weekend to the same bar.
Mm-hmm.
But I've found that like some groups don't mesh well with other groups. Some groups want very specific people there. They'll be annoyed if other people show up. Not because they don't like the person, but like
No.
it just changes the dynamic.
It's the expectations
it's fair,
when you're
yeah.
going to
Yeah.
a thing like
Well, yeah, it's like if I'm going to meet up with 2 people, it's way different than meeting up with 5 people.
Exactly.
Even if I like all those.
Yes.
People.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And there's different goals for different hangs.
Sure.
So there's definitely a lot to think about in this scenario.
All right, so let's break it down, I guess. There's someone who is a friend of a friend. Maybe you've seen each other a few times at bar or parties or whatever. You're friendly but not friends. How should we approach going about taking that next step?
For me, it's always been like weirdly similar to trying to ask someone out on a date where it's
Yeah.
like, hey man, I like really enjoy hanging out with you. Like, let's get a beer sometime soon.
Yep.
Then it stops becoming a thing you plan around. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, once you break
unfortunately,
that
like
once.
this stuff does have to be pretty organic. Otherwise, it doesn't feel authentic.
Yeah.
People would be like, what is this about? And I've noticed that too, where like people will be really kind of weird about asking to hang out with me, and it kind of turns me off. Similar to dating, you want to make sure it's like mutual interest.
Yeah, not just like, well, now I need to go, like, this person's bugging me. Like, there must be some sort of reason you are connected.
Yep.
And then I think as far as not worrying about cutting out other people, I think it's just a matter of
wouldn't worry.
keeping up with, just like, don't ignore the group chat or whatever it is, and just like, you can't hang out with everyone all the time.
Yeah, my advice
I
would
don't
be
know.
not to worry about like not paying attention as much to the previous friend group. If you're close enough, that's going to be fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have friends who hit me up who I haven't talked to in like 6 months,
Yep.
and we'll just pick but right back up like nothing, like there had been no gap in the communications.
Yep.
And I think like your best friends or like good friends will be like that. I really wouldn't worry about losing your previous friends. No one's going to be at home being like, damn, Manny didn't text me.
Yeah, or like see that you went out with one other person
Yeah.
one time and be like, oh, I guess I'm done now.
Yeah, there was a part of the question that was like, they feel like they can't penetrate
Yeah. So,
like a dynamic that feels very close, which is also another interesting thing. 'Cause some people like meet each other 2 weeks ago, and then you see them hang out, and it seems like they've been friends for 10
forever.
years.
Yep.
There's just certain personalities that click with each other like that, and I don't think it's worth like trying to penetrate that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because I'm to reread that bit. It says, I love all my friends. They're incredible people, and they mean the world to me. I have a few particularly close friends, but I can't help but feel that many of them have this untouchable connection with each other that I just can't reach. Mm-hmm. So this is making me think of our follow-ups episode in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like you feel like you don't have that real deep connection. You kind of just need maybe one-on-one time or something.
Yeah.
Like if you're always hanging out in groups, try to get more individual attention. I feel like that always makes me feel closer, even if it's not, we're going to have a hard conversation with each other.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't know, it just means something
Yeah.
different to carve out time with one person versus with a group
group.
of 4 people or something.
An easy way I've done that in the past is like if you're out at drinks with a group and then one of the friend you want to connect with more wants to get a drink, you're like, hey, I'll go with you to the bar.
Yeah.
Depending on what bar you're at, you're actually going to be by yourselves for a
Yeah.
while, and you can talk a little bit.
Yeah, and even that something small like that, which it could only be 3 minutes. Mm-hmm. It could just be enough of like, okay, somewhat intentional, even though there's this added thing of, we're waiting at the, getting drinks or whatever.
The other person will go home and they won't be like, oh, this person made an effort to talk to me, but it's something subconscious that happens, and the next time you
Yeah.
see the person, I don't know, it makes more sense.
Some people are just unknowable.
Yeah. And every friend has their role, right? Like,
Exactly, yeah.
And that-
I'm the leader of the group. And then everyone else kind of falls in line. Hi, Manny, Noah, Devin. I need advice about my friend's wedding. I'm the best man in the wedding between 2 of my closest friends. I'm psyched to be a part of it, but they have very different tastes than me, and I was down for whatever they had in mind for me in their wedding planning process. Lately, their choices have gotten aggressively questionable. The first choice that really threw me is their strict requirement for black formal wear in an all-outdoor Palm Springs venue that averages 110 degrees during the month of their wedding. They invited my dad, but I can't send him out in a suit to bake in that kind of heat. What's pushing me over the edge is that they're suing their reception caterer.
What?
Even though it's them trying to break their contract. It's a small business we really love to support. So it's wild to see my friends so ready to literally sue him just to get their way. I know it's not my place to step in where I just have differences in opinion, but is it ever okay to voice disapproval if you genuinely think your friends are being assholes?
I think this person is in the right, but I do wonder if they should just bite the bullet here.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
they shouldn't be trying to fucking sue the caterer, but they're clearly going through some kind of stress.
You might not want to add to that just because it's going to be hot that day.
my view as someone who's getting married soon is that, it's kind of like, this is not really your problem, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. I'll say, though, I think it's, especially, you obviously are really close with the dad situation and the heat. I don't think they're going to change it, but I think it's fair to say maybe
my dad's
here's
not
why
coming.
my dad's not coming.
Yep.
It's going to be way too hot, so I just can't do it with the formal, with the dress code. It's just, there's no way.
Yeah.
And then maybe that'll budge them in some way to make it more casual or whatever. The caterer thing, reading this now for the second time is, again, not really your problem. Seeing that you know the business does make it a little bit more of if they are being totally out of line, I don't think it's crazy if you say something are you sure about that? I don't know about this.
It's about hey, this is a business that we know and love, and you guys are not acting rational.
Yeah.
I think that's worth bringing up, and more so just sort of hey, is this really worth it?
Yeah.
Straight away.
Yeah.
The aspect of this where I feel like this person should suck it up, so to speak, is just going to the wedding knowing that it's going to be really hot.
Yep.
The parts where they should say something is hey, don't think my dad's going to come to this.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
just fucking dangerous.
I think you can gently push back on basically all these things.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't stress out too much about it personally.
Stage, it's when is the
what are you
wedding?
gonna do? Yeah.
At this stage, probably too late even to make any changes.
Yeah. Maybe move the location of the wedding to somewhere upstate New York, where it's gonna be. It'll be outside in the summer, Mom, but it'll be
Yeah, we're
be
not
a little
gonna be on
cooler,
fire.
So it could be worse. That's for one listener out there.
Yeah, weddings though are that's something you can't.
And there's
navigate.
AC in the main area where there's dinner and stuff. But anyway.
Sounds personal.
Yeah, is this about someone we know?
Yeah.
It's interesting though. Weddings are so removed from this same kind of issue outside of a wedding,
for sure.
If it weren't a wedding,
Definitely.
I'd be tell your friend that they're being fucking idiots.
Yeah.
If it was their birthday party in Palm Springs and 110 degrees, I'd be what are you guys? Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Weddings though are just damn,
many
that's
things.
everyone's one day for their whole lives where it's maybe it is fucking stupid as hell,
And
but
You kind of just need to
yeah,
you just suck it
you
up.
need to let them do what they're doing. You can't really complain. There's so many weird kind of wedding specific things that do make people act
Out of
not
character.
normally. Yeah.
Is this out of character?
Yeah. You're the best man.
You should know if they're acting out of character. I think you could take it a little bit differently than here they go again.
Yeah, true.
but
It's
definitely leave your dad at home.
Yes.
Yeah. That's good. He can
That's what I would do.
Watch the game.
That's it for our advice episode. I will say we did get a voicemail from someone with a 209 area code. Your message did not come through, actually. There seemed to be some kind of a glitch that happened. So please try again, and we'll try to get to your question in a future episode. Thanks for listening to No Such Thing, produced by Manny, Noah, and Devin. Theme song is by me, Manny. Shout out to everyone who sent us questions asking for advice. If you'd still like to do so, you can email us, or better yet, call the number in the description and leave us a voicemail. Let us know if you want us to disguise your voice. We'll talk to you guys soon.